Before we get started, I know you guys read the thumbnail and you're saying we're delusional. And we probably are delusional. Are we delusional, Nick?
Probably.
Yeah, I think we're delusional. But you know what? We're Raider fans. We have hope. We've had hope for all these years, 20 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So, it ain't over till the fat lady sings.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the same spot we were at last year. We needed, 4 or 5 teams to lose, to win, to do something. That all happened. We went on a 4-game win streak. We're in the playoffs. And we need that again. We didn't kind of believe last year, and it just happened. This year, I'm totally on board. I'm believing no matter what's happened. It starts now. Playoff starts now for us. 4-game season. Got to win them all.
If you guys are new, welcome to Raider Talks. I'm your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button down below for Raider content all season long. So you guys read the thumbnail. We talked about it a little bit. But yeah, there's still a sliver of hope for this Raider team, even after a depressing loss to the Rams.
Yeah. I just think that, defense is really coming around and playing really well and dominating. Not only halves now, but dominating after the fact. And, I think what's a surprise is we just got to get this offense rolling. Once it does, we've seen it in a couple games this year. We've seen it in a couple halves this year. Once it's rolling, we're unstoppable. We're dangerous. We can get those two things clicking on board, and we need it for these 4 games. It could be dangerous.
Yeah, like Nick said, the situation we're in right now is similar to something of last year where we got our butts kicked at Kansas City in the same week.
Yeah.
The same week as this Rams game, and a depressing game that felt like it was the end of the season.
Yeah.
And that Rams game felt like the end of the season. And it very well might be the end of the season, but there is still hope. The Raiders last year went on a 4-game win streak, went on to make the playoffs, and that was very impressive. And that was with interim coach and Rich Bisaccia.
Yeah.
Let's see if Josh McDaniels can replicate what they did last year, 4 games in a row, and see if he can be a leader of men.
Yeah, and, see what he can do. We're getting big pieces back. We're getting Waller back. We're getting Renfro back. I think last year in that 4-game stretch, we were healthy in a way, but somewhat unhealthy. I know Waller didn't play a game or 2. We're missing some guys on the line. We're just missing some guys kind of around. I feel like coming into these next 4 games, we're going to be healthy, intact, how this roster was supposed to be. And with Josh Jacobs running the ball the way he is, Devontae doing it, I think they lead the charge in this offense, and we could do something.
Okay, we'll talk about the scenarios real quick, or the scenario for the Raiders to make the playoffs. And the first thing, which is going to be the toughest thing, I believe, Raiders need to win 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Raiders go and play the Patriots this upcoming Sunday, and then they'll play the Steelers on Christmas Eve. Then they'll play a Niners team who's getting really hot. They dropped 35, I think, on the Buccaneers. They're a really good team, really good defense, and Purdy looks better than Garoppolo and Trey Lance after that first game. And then we'll play the Chiefs to end off the year. So that's probably the toughest part of this scenario.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we talked about it a little bit, and we'll go over the scenarios. The other ones are kind of doable. The thing is, are we going to help ourselves? I think we're going to get some help. I've seen other team schedules, and it's kind of doable. It kind of looks doable, debating on who gets hot at the right time or not. The thing is, are we going to help ourselves? And, as of late, we haven't.
The next thing, Jaguars need to lose 1 out of their 4 games. Since we lost them, we lost that tiebreaker.
Yeah, and I think they have a game or 2 in the South. And they're very streaky, very inconsistent. I know they beat a really good Titans team today, but I'm pretty sure that they would lose 1 going forward.
Yeah, the next will be the Patriots. They need to lose 2 out of the next 5 they play tomorrow on Monday, or they play Monday night, which is today. They need to lose 1 to the Raiders, obviously, and then they need to lose 1 by themselves. I think that's very doable.
And again, I think they have a couple games in the East, and I think that schedule really.
The Patriots will play the Raiders, the Bengals. So the Bengals are a really good football team.
Dolphins and Bills.
The Dolphins are another really good football team, and the Bills are a good football team.
I think right there, Dolphins, Bills, one of those, and then we got to beat them. I think that's very doable too.
And then the next scenario, Chargers need to lose 2 out of 4 for the Raiders to sneak in this thing. And the Chargers just had a big win against the Dolphins on Sunday Night Football, winning 23-17. That kind of hurt the Raiders right there. But They have 4 more games, and they're a team that can lose any game. We know that.
Yeah.
So next game they play against the Titans, and that's in LA. That will be a tough game for the Chargers to win.
Titans need that one. I think Derrick Henry can sit there and run all over them, and just kind of like what we saw last year was really unexpected. This team lost to the Texans. And Texans were losing. I don't think had a quarterback at that time, and everything was just going bad. I think they went into Texas and got beat, and that's where we knew like things could change. We can get in. They played the Colts, they played the Rams, they played the Chargers, or they played the Broncos, and Broncos D can get hot and really, really stop them. And Russell Wilson, a couple touchdowns maybe. I know that's hard for him to do this season, but at the end of the year, or even like that Colts one, the Colts are come out of nowhere and just beat people.
Yeah. And Indianapolis too.
Yeah.
So that's a game that can go either way. And they play the Rams. It's going to be an LA, rivalry. So that's going to be a fun one. Obviously, the Rams defense looked very good against the Raiders. So the Rams defense is still there. Mm-hmm. And then, you never know how Baker Mayfield plays throughout the future, unless it's just a one-time thing where he just plays really good against the Raiders. I mean, I don't say he played really good, but he had a game-winning drive.
Yeah.
And they play the Broncos. And I can see Chargers losing the Broncos too. The Broncos suck, but they could lose to the Broncos. And Chargers are that type of team.
And these AFC West games, no matter who has been playing, have all been close. Broncos play the Chiefs today, or Sunday,
played them close.
We play the AFC West close. I think everything's just been close in the AFC West. This could be doable.
Yeah, going into that Sunday of football, the Jets scenario was probably the craziest one. They got to lose 3 out of their next 5. So they lost. Now they got to lose 2 out of their next 4 for the Raiders to be in the mix. And they will be playing the Lions next week, who the Lions are hot. They just beat the Vikings, kind of dominated them too.
Yeah.
And then they'll go play the Jaguars in New York. I think that could be...
getting kind of hot.
Yeah,
the way they handled Tennessee was very impressive.
Yeah. And then you got the Jets, Seahawks, which Seahawks are a good football team, especially in Seattle. It's always a tough game to win. And then they'll be playing the Dolphins last game of the season. So the Jets' schedule's tough also.
Out of 3 of the 4, their playoff teams are wanting to be in the playoffs. They're right there.
Yes.
I know Lions are right there in the NFC, even at 6 or 7, 5 and 7, whatever they are at. Seahawks are right there. We've known that from a couple weeks ago of how they were stacked up. And then the Dolphins. The Dolphins are obviously going to make the playoffs. It's just about the division or not. And I think with their loss today kind of slimmed down their division hopes. But still, they're going to need wins late. I see them kind of losing 2, maybe even 3 to knock them out.
Yeah, so this is the scenario for all these teams, and I think the Jets can lose 2 out of 4. I think the Chargers could lose 2 out of 4. I think the Patriots can definitely lose 2 out of 5, being that they're going to play the Raiders.
Yeah,
that's 1 loss. And then I think for sure the Jaguars will lose a game in their 4 games. It's just about, I think, if the Raiders can pull off 4 in a row, and it's going to show what this team is made of, just winning 4 in a row and put themselves in a position to try to make the playoffs like last year. But you never know. Things might fall in place. Since we've been in Vegas, we got pretty lucky. You know, roll the dice, got unlucky. So hopefully everything works out on that end. Yeah. But the Raiders just need to take care of business at the end of the day themselves.
I think just like last year, I think it's very doable and that we can get the help.
But does this team have the same heart as last year's team?
And now the thing is, are we going to help ourselves? We haven't helped ourselves all year. We've had chances to go win ball games. We've had chances to put away games, and we haven't.
After that Rams game, we shouldn't be a playoff team.
No.
We shouldn't be talking about this right now.
No.
But it's the last 4 weeks. These scenarios are out. It could happen.
Anything
but are the Raiders going to take advantage of it? They haven't taken advantage of it all year long, like you said.
And we haven't helped ourselves all year long. So I think the question is, well, what changes now? Last year, everything happened to us. We kind of survived it. We took all the hits and punches. We went out these last 4 games and beat every playoff contender or playoff team that was going into the playoffs, the last 4, and it worked out perfectly. This is kind of the same core a little bit, with just Chandler Jones on the defensive side, Devontae on the offensive side. And they've been in big moments. They've been in big games. Playoff starts this Sunday against the Patriots for us. And if we really want it, we need to go out and get it.
I think this is a Raiders team that the defense is getting hot. Max Crosby is just a game changer, the best in the world.
Yeah.
And I think if the Raiders want to make a run, win these 4 games, and make a run in the playoffs, let's just say win these 4 games first. It's going to be all defense winning these football games for us. Because this offense is just so kind of out of whack in a way. Even though they got hot for 3 games, they didn't even get that hot for 3 games. They just did enough, and the defense did enough.
Yeah.
But the defense played good the last 2 games. They only gave up 17 to the Rams, and things cost us that game, like penalties and stupid penalties made them even score 7 and other points or whatever. So it's going to be the defense dominating, because I think this defense is starting to play at a very high level.
Yeah, they're starting to get stops when they want, and for 3.5 quarters they sat there and bullied the Rams. And I think there was one drive where they drove down pretty good, but we made them fumble. And it was just like, wow, they were getting ready to score. We made them fumble. We went back, and I forgot what we did. I think that was the interception in the half. But still, just the way that they were playing, getting stops, making tackles for loss. There was a couple of 3rd and 1s, 3rd and shorts, and we didn't allow them to get there. And it was just, it looked like a brand new Raiders defense that we haven't seen. We've maybe seen a drive or a series where they come out and get the stop that they needed in the past, but it just seems like time after time after time they're getting stops.
And that was 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
The Chargers and the Rams.
Yeah. And you just said it perfect. We did it against the Chargers. We did it against the Rams. I think they keep it going. And I think it'd be good and nice change to see a defense carry this Raiders team.
Yeah, I mean, going into the year, you wouldn't expect that the defense could carry this team. It's going to be an offensive type of team.
Yeah.
But at this point in the year, the vibe I'm feeling more of like we're going to win 23-17 ball games.
Yeah.
Even 17-12 ball games. Just something crazy like that because of our defense playing so well, getting turnovers, and just the pass rush we're getting right now from everybody.
Yeah, I don't care how we win these games. I don't care how ugly it is. If we just win these games on strictly field goals, this defense has the capability to sit there and probably stop any offense, as we've seen. They stopped Herbert a little bit. They stopped the Rams for a good portion, and they look good.
Season's not over. We're not mathematically out of it, so we just need to push for the Raiders. Everyone just needs to push for the Raiders, and if they get it done, they get it done. And if they don't, then you start looking at draft boards and whatever it is.
I think as mad as we've got Thursday or whatever, you sit here, you still look at the board and whatever. We're still in it. And it's
we're still pissed off.
We're still mad.
We're more pissed off than anything.
Yeah, but
we're come Sunday, we're going to be ready.
And not even come Sunday. Come Wednesday when they start practicing, and and the first interviews come out, whatever. That's when it starts. That's when you start getting pumped, excited. Who's playing? Who's not playing? How are we going to go after these guys? How are we going to beat these guys? And then you start getting back into it. I'm mad. I'm pissed at these at my Raiders.
I always say Sunday, but usually it's by Tuesday, Wednesday-ish. You're like, okay, I'm pumped up again.
I think that's where you turn the page. You hear the press conferences. You hear everybody get ready for Sunday's big matchup. And I'm still mad. I'm still pissed, but technically we're still in it. Last year at this time, we were mad.
And I'll be the first to admit.
Yeah.
We were doubting the Raiders, damn near saying it was over.
It was over. And your dad had to calm us down and say, hey, boys, this is what's going on. This is how we're going to do it. And he was right. And, so I'm this year, we're in the same boat. We need to go 9-8.
As fans, let's take it one game at a time also. And
and I think if something happens to where we lose Sunday, then it'd be mathematically over. Then we start talking about what are we going to do after the season, whatever. But now we sit here, we're still in this thing. It's still Raider season. We still got something to play for. We're playing meaningful games in mid-December.
Yeah, let's get pumped up. Let's rally for our team. No matter how much it hurts, no matter how much they're pissing us off, we've been here. Everyone's been here for, our age, like 20 years plus.
Yeah.
And then, there's a lot of other Raider fans been here for 40, 50, 60 years plus. And you've been with them through the ups, the downs, and the craziest of downs, including that Rams game, but you're still with them. You're still rocking your Raider gear. So let's just get pumped up for them Sunday. Let's root. And hopefully they get the job done against the Patriots. And hopefully some things happen and the scenario gets a little bit easier and easier and easier. And then we can start getting more pumped up each week, similar to last year.
Yeah. Similar to last year, you know, just week by week, you were just, okay, we won. Okay, this is cool. Okay, well, we won again. Okay, this is cool. Then after that one, you're like, okay, well, if we beat this team, then it's really on. We beat them. Then it's, oh my God, the Chargers. If we well, of course we did it, but if we do it, we're in. We're this and that. We win. Then we find out that we had some help. We got the first wild card spot. It was just amazing. So I think that we keep on winning, it's just week by week. Hey, this is happening. This is happening. Oh man, they lost. Then come down to it, we should be right where we need to be.
And yes, we are delusional right now. Yes. You saw a thumbnail. You clicked on it because he said these guys are delusional. But you know what? We're all Raider fans. Raider fans are a little delusional.
And I'm going to just say this. In the beginning of the season, we were delusional about Davante Adams. We called it. And some other stuff, they didn't plan out the way it was. But I think this one, we've been through this before. This core of our team, the leader of the Raiders has been through this before.
Who, Max Crosby?
Max Crosby in DC, leader on the defense, leader on the offense, still my QB. They've been through this before. Now we got to go do it again.
Yeah, it don't matter what anyone thinks about Carr. I'm very upset with him. But, come Sunday, you're rooting for that. You're rooting. He's wearing the fucking Raider uniform.
Yeah.
So you're pumped up and you're rooting for him. You are rooting for him.
You're rooting for all 53 guys who go out there. No matter what you like, what you do, you need them to succeed. If you're a Raider fan and you want them to win, you need everybody on that roster to succeed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, come Sunday, you have to love everybody.
Yep. We'll see you guys for the Raiders versus Patriots pregame. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
There's still hope.